Mythical sea creatures that really existed. The ocean has always been full of mysteries. For centuries, people have told stories of enormous sea monsters that lurked in the deep. Tales of giant squids dragging ships underwater, massive sharks as long as buses, and strange fish with terrifying teeth were common in sailors' stories. But surprisingly, many of these mythical creatures were not just legends, they really existed. Over time, fossils, scientific studies, and deep-sea discoveries have revealed that some sea monsters were more real than people ever imagined. Let's dive deep into the oceans and meet these fascinating, sometimes terrifying prehistoric sea creatures. Megalodon, the giant shark. Long before humans walked the earth, a shark called Megalodon ruled the oceans. This was not just any shark, it was the largest shark ever known. Fossil evidence shows that Megalodon's jaws were so wide, they could swallow a small car, and its teeth were as big as a grown man's palm. Some scientists estimate that Megalodon could grow up to 18 meters, or nearly 60 feet long. Megalodon was a top predator. It hunted giant whales, sea turtles, and even other sharks. Its bite was incredibly strong, stronger than any animal alive today. Fossils of whales have been found with massive bite marks, showing that Megalodon didn't just attack small prey, it could crush the largest animals in the sea. Although Megalodon went extinct around 3.6 million years ago, its legend lives on. Many sailors in history reported seeing giant sharks, which may have been based on rare encounters with large sharks or the imagination inspired by fossils. Fossilized teeth of Megalodon have been found all over the world, proving just how widespread this predator once was. Giant squid. The real-life kraken. Stories of the kraken, a monster so large it could drag ships under the water, terrified sailors for centuries. They described huge tentacles reaching out of the dark sea, wrapping around ships, and pulling them into the depths. For a long time, these stories were considered myths. But in the 19th century, scientists discovered the giant squid, a real creature that could reach lengths of 12 to 13 meters or about 40 feet. Giant squids live deep in the ocean, where sunlight barely reaches. They are elusive and rarely seen alive, which explains why myths of giant tentacled monsters existed for so long. They have massive eyes, some as big as basketballs, to detect faint light in the dark depths. Their long tentacles are equipped with suckers and sharp hooks, which they use to catch fish and smaller squid. Famous encounters with giant squid include carcasses washing up on shores and deep-sea footage taken in modern times. These encounters help scientists finally connect the legend of the kraken to a real living creature. Giant squid also shows how myths often have real-world origins, blending imagination with rare, real sightings. Plesiosaurus, the long-necked sea lizard. Another creature that inspired myths was Plesiosaurus, a marine reptile from the time of dinosaurs. Plesiosaurus lived around 200 million years ago and had a long neck, small head, and a broad, flat body with 4 flippers. Fossils suggest it could grow up to 15 meters long. The long neck of Plesiosaurus may have inspired legends of sea serpents, with people imagining massive, snake-like creatures rising from the water. Plesiosaurus was a predator, using its long neck to reach into schools of fish or catch smaller sea animals. Unlike sharks, it didn't bite with huge jaws, but it could snap up prey quickly with sharp teeth. Fossil discoveries of Plesiosaurus have been found in Europe and North America, helping paleontologists reconstruct its life. Its unusual shape, with a tiny head and huge flippers, makes it look like something out of a fantasy story, showing why ancient people might have imagined monsters like the Loch Ness Monster. Dunkleosteus, the armored predator. Imagine a fish with a head like armor and teeth, as sharp as knives. That was Dunkleosteus, a giant prehistoric fish that lived around 358 million years ago during the Devonian period. Dunkleosteus could grow up to 10 meters long and weigh over 4 tons. Its bony plates acted like built-in armor, protecting it from attacks while it hunted. Dunkleosteus didn't have modern teeth. Instead, it had sharp, bone-like blades that could slice through almost anything. Fossil evidence shows that it could bite with incredible force, crushing smaller armored fish and even tearing apart large prey. Fossils of Dunkleosteus have been found in Europe, North America, and Morocco, proving that it was one of the top predators of its time. Some historians believe that legends of sea dragons or monsters with metal-like scales may have been inspired by fossils of Dunkleosteus. Its terrifying appearance and hunting power make it one of the most fascinating prehistoric fish ever discovered. Basilosaurus, the whale that looked like a serpent. Basilosaurus is one of the strangest prehistoric marine mammals. Despite its name meaning king lizard, Basilosaurus was actually a whale that lived around 40 million years ago. It could grow up to 18 meters long, with a long, slender body that resembled a giant sea serpent. Basilosaurus had small, sharp teeth and likely hunted fish, smaller whales, and squid. Fossils of Basilosaurus have been found with bite marks from larger predators, showing that it faced dangerous competition in the ancient oceans. Its unusual shape and size may have inspired legends of sea serpents and enormous whales in sailors' stories. The discovery of Basilosaurus in Egypt in the 19th century was surprising, because its body was unlike any whale alive today. Its long body, with tiny hind limbs, reminded scientists of snakes, showing how evolution experimented with different shapes in the ocean. Helicoprion, the buzzsaw shark. One of the strangest sea creatures ever discovered is Helicoprion, sometimes called the buzzsaw shark. It lived around 290 million years ago and had a spiral-shaped jaw full of sharp teeth. Imagine a saw spinning inside a shark's mouth. That's what Helicoprion looked like. This jaw structure confused scientists for a long time because it was unlike any modern shark. Fossils suggest Helicoprion could grow up to 10 meters long. It likely used its spinning teeth to slice through soft-bodied prey. Like squid, the spiral teeth of Helicoprion were perfectly designed for cutting, and they continuously grew in a circular pattern. Scientists once thought these fossils were part of a strange nose or fin, showing how unusual this shark really was. Helicoprion proves that some prehistoric creatures were so bizarre that even experts struggle to imagine them fully. Leoporodon, the ocean predator. Leoporodon was a massive marine reptile that lived around 60 million years ago. It could grow up to 7 meters or longer, and some estimates suggest the largest may have reached 25 meters, though these claims are debated. Leoporodon had a huge head, sharp teeth, and strong jaws, making it one of the most feared predators of its time. It swam the shallow seas, hunting fish, smaller reptiles, and even other marine predators. With 4 large flippers and a streamlined body, it could chase prey quickly. Its terrifying appearance likely inspired stories of giant sea monsters and prehistoric ocean giants. Fossils of Leoporodon have been found in Europe, particularly England, helping paleontologists understand its size and hunting habits. Giant isopods, real-life deep-sea monsters. Not all sea monsters are extinct. In the deep oceans, there are giant isopods, creepy crustaceans that look like enormous versions of the pillbugs found on land. Some species can grow up to 76 centimeters long, almost 3 feet, with large armored bodies and many legs. Giant isopods live deep in the ocean, where pressure is extreme and sunlight doesn't reach. They scavenge dead animals, sometimes even whales, for food. Their alien-like appearance, with segmented shells and multiple legs, makes them look like creatures straight out of a horror story. Despite their scary look, giant isopods are slow-moving scavengers, posing no threat to humans. Yet when first discovered, sailors and deep-sea explorers were likely convinced these were monsters from legends. Colossal squid. Bigger than the giant squid. Even bigger than the giant squid is the colossal squid, which lives in the deep southern ocean near Antarctica. Colossal squids can grow up to 14 meters long and weigh nearly 750 kilograms. Unlike the giant squid, they have larger hooks on their tentacles, which help them catch prey like fish and smaller squid. Colossal squids are very elusive. They live at depths of up to 2,000 meters, making sightings extremely rare. Despite their size, they are not a threat to humans. But for early sailors, stories of such enormous creatures may have seemed terrifying, giving rise to kraken myths. Stethecanthus. Strange shark. Stethecanthus was a small, unusual shark that lived about 360 million years ago. It was only about 1 meter long, but it had a bizarre brush-like structure on its back, shaped like an anvil. Scientists aren't sure what it used this structure for, maybe to scare predators or attract mates. While not a giant predator, Stethecanthus shows how strange early sharks could be. Fossils of these unusual creatures may have inspired sailors' tales of weird, monstrous fish from the deep. Zyphactinus, the giant predatory fish. Zyphactinus was a giant fish that lived about 11–12 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. It could grow up to 6 meters long, with huge teeth and a powerful body built for speed. Fossils show that Zyphactinus often swallowed prey whole, sometimes so large that it caused the fish's death. Zyphactinus hunted other fish and smaller marine reptiles, making it one of the top predators of its time. Its aggressive feeding habits and enormous size may have inspired legends of sea monsters attacking ships or devouring sailors. Fossils have been found in North America and Europe, providing evidence of its wide distribution. The link between myths and real creatures. Many mythical sea creatures have their roots in real-life animals. Sailors in the past often spent months at sea, far from land, when they saw giant squid tentacles, massive shark fins, or the tail of a whale. Their imaginations filled in the rest. Fossils discovered on beaches or riverbeds also inspired stories of dragons, sea serpents, and monsters. By studying fossils, modern scientists have discovered that the oceans of the past were home to animals far bigger and stranger than anything alive today. Creatures like Megalodon, Plesiosaurus, and Helicopterion were real, but they were so different from modern life that it's no wonder people called them monsters. Even today, deep-sea exploration reveals animals that look like they came from another world. Giant isopods, colossal squids, and anglerfish all show that the ocean still holds mysteries that humans have yet to fully understand. Humans have always been drawn to the unknown. Stories of sea monsters have captured imaginations for thousands of years, from sailors' tales to movies and books. But the fact that many of these creatures really existed makes them even more fascinating. Knowing that creatures like Megalodon, Basilosaurus, and giant squid were real helps us connect with the past. It reminds us that the oceans are ancient, full of life, and far stranger than we ever imagined. These creatures also teach us about evolution, adaptation, and survival in a world that is constantly changing. The mystery of the deep ocean continues. With modern technology, submarines, and deep-sea cameras, scientists keep discovering new species every year. Who knows? Maybe the next real sea monster is still swimming in the depths, waiting to be found. The legends of the sea are not just stories, they are windows into the past. Many mythical creatures were real, living in oceans that were full of enormous predators, strange shapes, and creatures that could easily be called monsters. From the terrifying megalodon to the elusive colossal squid, these sea creatures remind us that the line between myth and reality is often thinner than we think. The ocean still hides its deepest secrets. Who knows what else is waiting to be discovered? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more amazing stories from the mysterious world beneath the waves.